Hey guys, this is Stu. Just thought I'd do another inbox review. Excuse me if I'm sounding a bit nasally. I've just had another revisit of the dreaded flu, but thankfully I'm getting over it now. So if you haven't heard or seen any videos for a few days, it's because I've been sick. So struggled through at work, but unfortunately I had to give in to it and took some time due. So that helped. So thankfully I'm now back on the mend and hopefully won't have another return visit with the dreaded lurgy, but we'll see. Anyway, without further ado, enough of me milking it. I'm actually more concerned about this. As you well know, I was going to do a Fury Sherman build with the Italeri kit. Well, I've changed my mind, guys, to be honest with you. I had a look at this the other night and I thought, well, this is the better kit. So what I'm going to do with this kit, I am actually going to have it as the Fury Sherman because the detail on it is far, far better, hence this inbox review. When I'm going to get around to doing it, I don't know, because as you can see, I'm working on the AS90 at the moment and I've got a tiger waiting up there to needing some attention. So once they're done and out of the way, this puppy is the next project, okay? And I'll show you a couple of, well, some extras I managed to get in with it as well. Anyway, let's get on with the review itself. I won't run through the actual history of the tank because I ran through that with the Italeri tank, so you know the background to it. I'm just going to go on with the actual review of this kit. As you can see, you've got the familiar white box art, which is beautifully illustrated, and there are some little extras in with this, including the figures that are depicted on the box here, and some etched brass. Okay, so without further ado, we'll get on with this. This one actually snapped up on eBay for around about £37. I have seen them on the eBay for some stupid prices, to be honest with you. I think, to be honest with you, ever since the film came out, people have cottoned on and basically trying to make a quick buck. Yes, it is a lovely kit, and admittedly it was released 2 years ago and it's a reboxing of a Tasca kit. But I don't think it justifies up to £65 or 70 or even 88. I've seen it go as, you know, it's ridiculous. But so I was lucky enough to snip it up for about 37, and that was including postage. So there you go. Anyway, on the side of the box here, you've again got a box art illustration and the kit number if you want to get hold of one is 25175 stroke 4400, and if you want to freeze frame that to get the kit number, by all means do so. Okay, and as you can see, this is an import. There's an illustration of the actual suspension system here, and also the track system as well, because this one is a link-to-link track on this, and then there's your etched brass details right there. This is one of the variants that you can actually option to paint it in, and on the back here you've got another option again. Okay, right, let's get to the most interesting part. First off, we'll go through the instruction sheet. Again, you've got the familiar box art on the top of the illustration of the instructions, then running through a brief history of the actual vehicle. And on the first page, if I can open it up and you will bear with me, this is all in Japanese. There's an illustration of an Easy 8 in a museum, which I think is somewhere in Crawfordsville in the USA. Okay, and then you've got the familiar colour callouts up the top here, which you can see here, all there. Some illustration of some of the products that they do, and then obviously you've got the colour options on the bottom there, which come in about 5 examples. Okay, first off, they're showing you how to assemble the link-to-link track units. Now, Phil Flory's actually built this kit, and he absolutely enthused about it and saying it was the easiest system he'd ever actually come across. So I will find that out in due course. Then you've got the assembly of the main sprocket and obviously the main running gear. You've got the final drive on the front of the vehicle here with the front armour, adding all the tow bars, etc. on that. And then you've got the main body of the vehicle, which is illustrated here, which you put together. And more units to add sub-assemblies to the main lower hull, as you can see there. And then you've got the drive unit at the rear of the vehicle, which goes on the back plate. Okay, and this is obviously the exhaust system, which you build up. And then the exhaust go on the back of the vehicle again. And there's the air filter as well, which goes on the back of the vehicle. Then you got the assembly of the suspension VSS units right here. Okay. Then adding the wheels to the units again, and the build up of the suspension units you can see there. Then add them to the actual lower hull. Again, to be honest with you, I'm going to leave that till the last option. Then it's showing you to put the main sprocket on the final drive. Add that to the front of the lower hull. Then you're working on the upper hull with all the grab handles, fuel caps, back plate, headlight, etc. Okay. Then it's explained on how to actually assemble all the hatches in case you want the hatches open. That's the front mud guard, as you can see there, or front fender, as it were. Okay, next page, if I don't move too far on, is where you assemble the upper hull to the lower hull, and then add the tail lights, etc. And then add all the hatches. Again, you've got the option of having them open if you should so wish, or probably will actually. And then you add the grills for the headlights on, add the actual barrel holder, or I don't know what they call it, or etc. Then you've got the engine block, which goes on the back of the vehicle along with the rear headlights and some of the tools. Add the grill with the grab handles for the engine compartment on the top. And then the final stage is basically put this little unit on the back of the upper hull along with another petrol cap. Okay, right, then the next stage, if I can find it, is to add all the side rails to the hull of the vehicle. And I'm not quite sure, I think this is the storage cradle, which you build up as well. Add that to the back of the vehicle along with spare tracks on the side of the vehicle, and then we go into assembling the barrel. Now again, it's a two-piece barrel. I might look into getting a one-piece metal barrel. If I can't, then I'll be using the one that's on the kit. Then obviously assemble the mantlet, put the barrel to the mantlet. Okay. And then it's the assembly of the turret, as you can see indicated here, along with the commander's cupola and the side hatches which go on. And then obviously the loader's hatch goes on along with the aerial, etc. Okay. And then add the barrel to the main turret. And then there's another assembly where you've got all the rear parts of the grab handles, etc. And add them to the rear of the turret. And then I think the final stage, oh actually I think I was forgetting the M2 heavy machine gun, which you see here, and how to assemble it. Okay, so you add that to the turret and then the turret to the main vehicle. Then it's showing you how to assemble the jerry cans, and then obviously you put them on the back. Okay, and then you've got a colour guide to all the extra figures that come with the kit. I mean, that would make a nice little dial, I must admit. I might even add it to my Fury Sherman, but we'll see. Then you've got the colour options. The first one is of the 5th Armoured Division, Germany, April 1945, which you see there. The second one is of the 66th, I'm getting tongue-tied, 66th Tank Battalion, 2nd Armoured Division, at Tuven, Belgium, February 1945. Okay. Third example is the 35th Tank Battalion, 4th Armoured Division, Baston, February 45. And then obviously the penultimate one is the 8th Armoured Division at Kirchschellen, Germany, March 1945. And then the final example is of the 8th Armoured Division, which you see there. Okay, right, now Something else I was gonna do, and I've forgotten where I've done with it. Before I even did this review, and I've put it somewhere so discreet I can't find it. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it. Oh, damn. Wouldn't you know it? I've hidden it away and I don't know what I've done with it. But anyway, I'll show that to you a little later. I might dig it out. Right, let's get to the crux of the matter. This is the kit itself. And I don't know if you can see there. Look at the casting texture on this tank. And the detail is just so crisp and clear. This is really what swayed it for me to do this, is the Fury Sherman. And even on the bottom of the hull, I don't know if you can see that through the plastic. Again, I can assure you, you've got all the casting texture there, and this is really what swayed it for me, because I was looking at it the other night and I thought, right, this is going to be the Fury Sherman. Then you got the upper hull. Again, look at the casting texture on it, and even where you've got the weld seam lines, beautifully made. It really is crisp, clean and clear. And again, guys, this is really what swayed it. And even around the turret, you've even got the rivets. Superb. Then you've got the front plate. Again, you've got the lovely casting texture, which you can see here. Beautifully, crisply made. And even on the mantlet, look at the casting texture on it. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now, interestingly, you've got two barrels here. Now, why you've got two of them, I don't know. Maybe one's a different barrel to the other one, which is suggested on the kit. I don't know. I don't know why they've done that. And then obviously you've got part of the final drives, which you see there. Again, the rivets on them are nice and crisply welded, as you can see there. This is the most interesting bit, is the figures. Look at the detail on their tunics. Absolutely gorgeous. Really beautifully made up. I have to say, this is one of Tamiya's better figure sets. In the past they weren't so hot, but these are absolutely gorgeous. They really have caught them beautifully. So those will come up with some oils really nicely, especially with some washes as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And even on the faces, the expression on the faces is gorgeous. I might even use AK's flesh set to use that. And then you've got all the extras with the helmets and all the ordnance, which you can see here, which is a nice touch. Again, the jerry cans and all the backpacks, beautifully caught, and even the detail on the guns is superb. Now, I'm not taking these out of the boxes because I don't want to lose the parts, so if you don't like it, you're going to have to bear with me, guys. And then the detail on the final drives, which you see here for the sprocket, beautifully done. Absolutely beautifully done. And even the sprockets, I mean, the detail on them is absolutely superb. It really is. And on the wheels as well. Really beautifully done. And on here, again, you've got all the tools, which you can see here. Nicely moulded, beautifully done. Front fenders. You can have them on or off, depending on which version you're going to do. But I would suggest you do your research. And even the commander's cupola. Nicely done. Look at the hatches. Beautifully. I've even got the casting texture on the hatches, look. Absolutely gorgeous. This really is a superb kit, guys. If you can get hold of one, I recommend you do. It really is gorgeous. Right. And even on the M2 heavy gun, if I can find it. Look at that. Look at the detail on it. Superb. Absolutely superb. Then you got the radiator grills. You wouldn't even need any etched brass for that. Look at the detail on them. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry if I'm getting a bit carried away here, guys, but this is one of the best Shermans I've seen in a while. And Tasca are well known for their Shermans, to be honest with you. Again, we've got some more of the running gear, which you can see here. Beautifully made. Lovely crisp casting and texture on it. Really nicely done, guys. Absolutely super. And on here, again, you got the headlights, searchlights, etc. all on here. I'm not quite sure if that's the engine plate. Oh yes, and even in the seating, where you've got the well, I don't know if you can see this, but if I get it in the light, you've even got the leather texture on the seat there, just here. See if I can catch it in the light. Yeah, you've even got the folds in the seat. Superb, absolutely superb. I'm not quite sure what these are. I won't even worry about them. And there's your jerry cans. Again, lovely moulding on them. Superb, come up beautifully with the washing, a bit of weathering. Not quite sure what these are, but never mind, not to worry. And there again, these are the this is the parts of the lower hull. I'll get it in the light. You can see where you've caught the rivets and the escape hatch there, which if you remember in the film is the one that he crawls out of at the end of the film. Superb. Beautifully done. And then obviously you've got your link-to-link track sets right here. It's going to be a bit monotonous, but at the end of the day you're going to get the right amount of sag, etc. on them, and it's worth it. So there you go. And then obviously you've got your etched brass set right here. Okay, so there you go. I think that's for the headlights, etc. I may be wrong. And then obviously you've got the commander's cupola and all the optics which go with it, which are beautifully clear, not one bit of scratch or anything on them. So yeah, superb kit. And last but not least, you got the decal sheet, and I've got a feeling these might be cartographed because there's not too much sign on them and they come up beautifully, so we will see about that. But as I say, I won't be using these. I'm going to be using the decals off my Fury Sherman for that. So there you go, that's it in a nutshell. I'm just going to put all these back in the box as I found them. I wholeheartedly recommend you go out and get one of these. Do yourself a favour though, don't pay through the nose. Just shop around, alright? In comparison to the new Easy 8, which I know Tamiya have just recently released, I think this knocks spots off it, to be honest with you. Because it is, well, basically a Tasca kit, so say no more. And as far as I'm concerned, having had a look at this a few times, it's one of the best Shermans I've actually seen on the market. So definitely go out and get one, guys. I would. Now the other thing I was going to mention was I've actually got a few extras with this. Now if I can find it, you will bear with me a minute. I'll go and have a look and see if I can find the stowage set I'm thinking of putting on it. Right, bear with me a minute, guys. I'm just hunting through my cabinet here. See what I've done with it. I think I found it. Yep, I found it. Right, job done. Right, as it's going to be a Fury build, some months ago I ordered this set. This is going to go nicely with it. Now I know another modeler, I've forgotten what his name is, did actually do a review of this. So the quality of the molds on this is fantastic, and as you can see, you've got all the stowage including logs, which was a well-known feature on the Fury Sherman. And this one's actually made by the Linden, and I think you can still get these on eBay. I paid about I think about £29 for it. I know that's a lot of money, but to be honest with you, if it's going to add a lot more to the kit, it's well worth it. And not only that, but I've got a set of 3 figures. This is made by a company called Bravo 6. I've got that one, which I think you'll find is the driver and the loader. Actually, it might be, no, he's the driver and the young lad, which you can see there, and the detail on them is fantastic. And also these 2 guys as well, which I think you'll recognize. So they will be an essential with this kit as well. And finally, you've obviously got Brad Pitt as War Daddy. So yeah, these are all going to go on the tank. So that is going to be part of my Fury build. So there you go. So this build, as I said, won't be happening until I've actually got the AS90 done and the Tiger. This, as I say, is going to be my first build proper of 2016. It's going to be quite a long, pronounced project, but to be honest with you, I think it's going to be well worth it in the end, and adding all these little extras will just make that extra special. Anyway, that's it for now, guys, so until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon.